Welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, where we are looking around after the speaker gave a speech. So let's see how the people react. You'll be able to infiltrate the city once we do something about the barrier and the white iron. I'm sure Speaker MacDowell's declaration reached Chief Sergey and the others too. They're probably already on the move. It's a final push, Lloyd. You guys go kick some butt out there. Hacking the orbital net went a lot smoother than I thought it would. We've totally blocked off the access from the signal booster, so there's no chance we're gonna be able to use it again. That doesn't matter though. Scaring the crap out of those chumps in Orcus Tower is more than worth it. Now hurry up and take back the city already. I've got a base to reclaim. You're up against some weird powerhouses, but don't sweat it. You guys have this in the back. The Society of Robbers. I heard they were the ones behind the bizarre happenings in Liberal last year. They haven't been making their presence felt very much in Crossbell, but they do have 2 key locations fully guarded. Makes you wonder what their ultimate goal in all of this is. Those snakes are caught in mystery after mystery. I wonder what their ultimate goal in all of this is. The Steel Maiden. She was the one who shattered Yin's mask. Perhaps it would be only fair that I return the favor. I'm not sure I'd fare against such an overwhelming opponent, to be honest. But I will not yield. I have my own mission that I have to accomplish, no matter what. Grandfather's declaration of invalidity has had major repercussions all over the map. Now if the CDF has withdrawn, civil unrest might start bubbling up to the surface. Might be a good idea to check how things have changed around the state on our way to stop the 2 belts. That is an option. And we're currently exploring it. Speaker MacDowell? Pardon me, Lloyd, I was lost in thought. Declaring the independent state of Crossbell invalid has broken us out of his deadlock. That was truly the right thing to do. I think there's no correct answer. Even so, I have always believed that the act of seeking it is vital in and of itself. That's my duty as Speaker of a Diet, and above all, as a true Crossbellan. We never forget what you've done for us, Speaker MacDowell. Know that once this is all over, the SSS will lend you whatever help we can in return. Haha, you have my thanks in advance. I surely need the support when the time comes. I'm afraid there's little else I can do to be of use at this stage. With the declaration of invalidity delivered, I will now continue to reflect on how to handle its lasting repercussions on Crossbell's future. It's my duty as Speaker of a Diet, and as above all else, as a true Crossbellan. I never thought someone from the Society would supply us with valuable information the way Jörg Rosenberg has. As a member of the Growls, I'm hesitant to take his word as face value, but it didn't seem like he was lying to us. It just goes to show, they've got people of all stripes and sorts over in Ouroboros. Ouroboros and the Growls would have faced off time and again throughout unrecorded history. You could almost say we're bound by fate. That said, despite how much our order has looked into the Society, we know shockingly little about the Fool or the Steel Maiden. No countermeasures, no glaring weak points. As things stand, we'll have to fight with both of them blind. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, as I say. We might as well jump in head first and see who comes out on top. So the great belts scattered about Crossbell exist to create localized fields of space that amplify the powers of the Septarium. In light of what the present situation has already shown us, I believe we can trust Jörg's findings. But to think that children of men were capable of creating such things, not to mention the cradle of a cult. The deluded obsessions of a Croix family truly know no bounds. The Macabre Unit number 5 has been keeping in touch with us from outside the state since the declaration of invalidity. Father Kevin and his crew are busy preparing to assist us with the liberation of Crossbell City. For that to make a difference, we first need to do something about that white iron, the barrier around the city. Both the Moon Temple and Stargazer's Tower went under the supervision of a Crossbell Guardian Force. We just learned the truth about the belts earlier. Maybe we could have avoided the current situation altogether. Still, dwelling on it won't do us any good. We have a lot of battles ahead, so I'll keep my head up and face forward. I doubt that. In terms of overall strength, the Red Constellation is probably tougher than the Society. The guys at the Robos have their arcades, not to mention this insane Lancemaster. It's going to take a lot more than raw power alone to crack those nut jobs. Don't go soft on them for even a second, Lloyd. You got that? Seeing as we no longer need to locate any additional landing spots, I've passed my duties on board to Jonah for now. As for our next mission, we'll be facing off against the Robots. There's no way for us to predict what tactics they may employ. With that in mind, I must ensure that my orbital staff and I are in perfect condition at all times. Our first destination is the Moon Temple, a ruin in the Mines region dating back to the Middle Ages. Meister Jörg asserts that one of the Society's enforcers, Campanella the Fool, will be awaiting you there. He doesn't typically dirty his hands like this, so even the church's records on him are incomplete. You face an enigmatic foe. There's no telling what he might have in store. Be ready for anything. Good. Where do we go first? I think St. Ursula. It seems the defense force has been in utter chaos since the Speaker declared our independence invalid. They're still escorting ambulances, thankfully, but there's plenty else to be concerned about too. Unfortunately, there's still a lot to worry about. We'd been in a lot of trouble if they stopped escorting ambulances. My heart goes out to our patients who have family trapped in the city. We're not in a position to communicate with their loved ones at all. I wish there was more we could do. No, there has to be something. It still falls on our shoulders to make them stay here as comfortable as possible. Anything to ease her worries. The stress is starting to get to our guests here too. I can hardly blame her if only they had a way to return to Crossbell City. So, Speaker MacDowell declared the state's independence invalid, has he? I wonder what's going to happen now. Same here, it makes me worry how things are going at my old apartment building in the downtown district. Doesn't sound like they're going to let us request an escort back to the city anytime soon either. Well, there's not much we can do about that. Let's just focus on our work at the hospital for now. Yeah, right. I still hope the situation improves though. That would help put my mind at ease. The The superintendent said we're in charge of delivering Lady Ilya her hospital food today. Oh, there's so much pressure. What am I supposed to say when I meet her? Calm down, Portia. Don't forget we have to deliver meals to all the other patients too. What if you freak out so much that you spill someone's food, or worse, Lady Ilya's? Now keep it together. The defense was supposed to escort me back to the city today, so what's the big idea? I don't know what this declaration of invalidity business is about, but surely it wouldn't hurt to take one poor old man along with them. No. I doubt it's already time, but... just a test. The outpatients that were stranded here had just about reached their breaking points, but hearing what's happened in the city has helped restore some hope to them. No one knows what happens next, but I truly do hope they'll be able to return home. We've been completely cut off from the city, and I don't just mean the highways. We can't even make contact through the orbital network. These new information restrictions must be in response to Speaker Hartmann's declaration of invalidity. This is terrible. As it stands, there'd be no way to notify us in case of an emergency. Just hope everyone in the city is alright. I heard a rumor that the declaration of invalidity caused an uproar in part of the city. Apparently the defense force was quick to stop it, but I worry if anyone was injured in the process. While working on a supply problem, I hit the books with Dr. Sale and came across some riveting discoveries. It should be possible to concoct anesthetics and pharmaceutics by using the medical herbs that grow in the state. We've been short on medical supplies since the diplomatic ties were cut with the Mepharia, but now hope just might be on the horizon. It's not exactly scientific, but the remedies of the old wives' tales could serve as useful reference for potent medications. I think I have a textbook on them back in my dorm room. I'll go look for it later. At the doctor's request, I gathered all of the herbs we had stored in the research ward. What the doctors are doing is unorthodox, but times are tough. We can't just sit on our hands and do nothing while patients need us. So, when you have no medicine, make some yourself, yeah? I'm double checking our old medical device in case the new supplies turn out to be defective. I'm so sleepy, hard to stay focused. Still outdated as the equipment may be, it's surprisingly well made. Most of them are primitive and unwieldy, but very nice and cool to the touch. Almost makes me want to nap on them. This equipment doesn't seem to be very efficient, but it should work well enough in a pinch. There were a lot of these to check, so it took us all night to get through to them. Not that I haven't gotten used to working all night at this point. We worked through the whole night checking our equipment, so Chief Ursulin is dropped dead exhausted. I heard the internal medicine, neurology, and pharmacology departments have devised a way to try and cover for our supply shortage. A surgeon like me has nothing to do right now, so instead I'm lending Ursulin and Chaleur a hand with whatever they need. Hopefully this will hasten preparations. We need to be ready to operate again at a moment's notice. I got rushed into the hospital over a compound fracture. On one hand, I'm glad it's starting to heal, but on the other, I don't want to go through the hassle of trying to get back to the city. Just what is going to become of our little Crossbell, only the goddess knows. All I can do is pray. She puts us on the path to salvation. I'm heading over to speak with our visitors at the elect here. I'll be leaving the patients here in your care for the time being, Philia. I'd appreciate if you could explain the situation to them. Yes, ma'am. With the patients already staying here, and the ones who just ended up stuck, I've got about as much work as I can handle. With everything going on in the city, it will probably be a while before that changes. Oh Lloyd, you're all here. Well, isn't this a lovely surprise? The SSS is back together again. Yeah, and not a moment too soon. We'd never have been able to make this happen without your support. I'm sorry to have you worried, Cecile. Oh no, Ellie, there's nothing to apologize for. No doubt you and the others have been through a lot. And on that note, there's something I can't help but notice. From what I can tell, the SSS seems more tightly knit than ever before. Hey, we can only get closer with time, right? We've done it all by now. Yes, it truly puts into perspective just how far we've come this year. Yeah, not to say there isn't still a whole lot left on our plates, though. I know your toughest fights are still ahead of you, but if anyone can get to the bottom of a string of incidents, it's the SSS. Good luck, everyone. I'll be rooting for you. We won't let you down, Cecile. What's going on, Mayfair? I'm scared. I don't know, but something must have happened in the city. Now's not the time to be worrying, though. We have people who need us. As long as we play our part, I'm sure that we are all okay. Right. Baggy, Mom, and Dad are all still stuck in the city. I hope they're all right. The hospital obviously has a lot going on right now. I can't do much, but I'm with the doctors in spirit at least. That's the kind of loyalty I have to St. Ursula. This place has done so much for me, body, mind, and soul. Excuse me, Doctor. I've overheard someone say that the hospital is running out of medicine. Are we going to be alright? It's true our supplies are dwindling, but rest assured that we are working on alternatives. The stuff we have here at St. Ursula Hospital are the best on the continent. We'll make it through this shortage. Well, if the doctor says it's fine, then I suppose it's fine. I'm not the one with a medical license here after all. I brought a book with me to pass the time, but I'm already through with it. No sense in reading the same story over and over, right? Why don't you take it as a little present? Sunshine Agnes, Chapter 13. Every single one of the Defense Force soldiers that are posted here has up and left the hospital. I wonder what that's all about. So MacDowell went and declared the whole kit and caboodle invalid, huh? I bet Sergei and the others in the city are making their move now. They wouldn't let an opportunity like this pass them by. Wish I could join them, but there's not much I can do at this state. I'll have to leave the heavy lifting to you, SS. Now would be about the time to put in a request for whatever supplies we're running low on. Problem is, there hasn't been a trace of a CDF since your declaration of invalidity. This isn't good. How are we supposed to negotiate for goods at this rate? The Defense Force tucked their tails and ran, which leaves us in the lurch. How are we supposed to negotiate for goods at this rate? Hey little guy, we're in the hospitals that the city's in disarray again. I hear there was a shocking expose on who was actually responsible for the raid. But it seems we managed to suppress it before the details could really get around. I'm sorry, Ilya. Ilya wouldn't be here if not for the president's schemes. She has every right to be upset. Well, not that the truth of what happens matters to me anymore. I care far more about when my next rehab session is. I'm itching to get out of this bed and move my body around. It's the only way I'm going to make the stage mine again. For a second there, I thought we were going to see a whole new side of you. Ilya will always be Ilya. I'm going to keep up my rehab until the stage is mine again. I got no time to be dwelling on anything else. My next session can't come soon enough. My body's itching for some exercise. The doctors and interns are doing all they can to come up with alternatives to the medicines we're lacking. Our solutions may be less than ideal, but we'd be neglecting our patients if we didn't try everything at our disposal. I swear on my pride as a neurologist and pharmacologist that we're going to pull through this. Adios be my witness. The doctors and residents are looking more and more despondent every time they trudge in and out of their rooms. There's no way to communicate from the city now, so they're probably worried about their regular patients, and who could blame them? Now, next place. Derek's been working harder than ever since the declaration of invalidity. In all my years as chief, I've never experienced a situation like the one we find ourselves in now. Every member of this village needs to come together if we're going to pull through this. The declaration of invalidity has called President Kreuz's authority into question. I can already picture how much discord there is among the city residents right now. We haven't been able to deliver to the city ever since the barrier went up. There must be plenty of city seekers in need of some fresh veggies right now. It's mighty painful to know there's nothing us farmers can do for them. I hope this declaration of invalidity will mean we can get our business going again. Our kids are playing with Colin again today. That reminds me I should treat Mr. Hayworth and his family to dinner sometime for all the help they've given us. Though I should do hope Colin doesn't mind my cooking, knowing how talented Chef Sophia is. Come on, Colin, we're going to play Kick the Can today. Kick the Can? What's that mean? You don't know Kick the Can? We just have to teach you. Let's see, it's kind of like hide and seek, except... So, while whoever is out searching, you gotta take this can and... Oh, I know. You crush it and toss it in the trash, right? No. Can you just let me finish? Colin can be a little careless. He wandered onto the highway earlier because he thought those blue plants were pretty. We'll have to keep a close eye on him. Camille only wanted to play with Colin, so I was getting really bored. My mom says I'm like a big sister to Colin, so I've gotta be more patient. I always wanted to be a big sister. So Camille can play with Colin all he wants. I'll be patient because I'm the grown-up. Playing with everyone is so fun. I've made so many friends here. Maybe I can bring Sonita with us next time too. Seeing Sophia and Colin tells me that Harold's built himself quite a family. Imagine if Jack became a family man like that too someday. Maybe I should focus on finding my grandson a wife once I retire. Can you please just double check with him first? That is kinda his life. I'm getting a chill down my spine. What is Grant screaming this time? Should be more concerned about the low harvest with my personal life. Our village is largely separated from Crossbell and politics, so the declaration of invalidity doesn't change much here. That said, many villagers are still worried about how quickly things are changing. I'll have to visit them door to door and give them some reassurance. Oh, Colin, I hope he'll be alright. He's going to be fine, Sophia. I know how you feel. I was afraid of letting my scrawny little Stefan play unsupervised at first too. But sometimes you have to let them leave the nest and get in a little trouble. It builds character. Maybe you're right. Colin won't enjoy himself very much if I'm too overprotective. Maybe I should try to be less overprotective. Just look at how much fun he's having with the other children. Sophia certainly does dote on that boy. It's alright though, sometimes kids have to get in trouble to go a little. Yeah, she already lost a child, so she is overly anxious. Sophia is such a great cook. Maybe she'll be willing to give me some lessons while she's staying here? Before you know it, I'll be able to whip up an even meaner omelette rice than my dad. Just between you and me, Seely didn't inherit Govan's culinary ability, if you know what I mean. I'm scared stiff when she serves up an omelette rice that looked like it crawled out of Gehenna. Now that stopped me from eating it or anything. I could never turn Seely down. Life is certainly worth living, what with the highway restrictions keeping me from the library. At least Speaker MacDowell is finally doing something about all of it. Things are bound to improve now, right? Maybe that barrier will come down too? I just want life to go back to normal already, so I can visit the library the way I used to. Word of a declaration of invalidity has reached the village. Our opinions of the president went too high to begin with, but I bet the city folks are starting to sing the same tune now. I wish I knew what was going to happen next, but I think we're stuck waiting to see the other shoe drop. Oh yes, thank goodness you're still okay. When I heard about Speaker MacDowell's declaration of invalidity, I wasn't sure what to think. Did you all have a hand in that? Quite a few, as a matter of fact. How have things been in America? Any significant changes? Not for the moment, no. I was in talks with the CDF and received the news, though, and we were quite out of sorts about it. I suppose it's no surprise when the village itself wasn't very affected by it either way. Yeah, if I took guess with the cities where things are really hitting the fan. Indeed, it has me worried for my neighbors back home. My friends and associates in St. Ursula and Mainz are a point of concern as well. If only it were possible to travel. Unfortunately, the declaration was only a small step in the right direction. There's still a lot of work to be done. Stay safe in the meantime, Mr. Hayworth. I will. Good luck to you all. Derek has been checking in on us every now and then to make sure we're all okay. In times like these, even just seeing a friendly face can help you put at ease. But fortunately, he's always been the thoughtful type. Our independence was declared invalid, right? Honestly, I think it's for the best. I miss the days when I could drive to my heart's content. The whole independence business is too complicated for a guy like me anyway. I just want things to go back to normal. Master Zhao is ready to see you in our hideout now. Are you ready to meet with him? Very well, please follow me. I will guide you to Master Zhao. I expected nothing less from a beloved friend in the SSS. Allow me to congratulate you on assisting the good speaker with formally declaring the independent state of Crossbell invalid. Even I couldn't have foreseen something so thrilling on the horizon. Well, it's only thanks to the cooperation of countless others that we've been able to come this far. We've also discovered how to disable the barrier around Crossbell City. Once we do that, we'll be able to infiltrate the city and rescue Kia. Keep in mind that we've taken but a single step. Still, there's no denying that the tide is beginning to turn. If I may ask, Zhao, what is Heiyu's current status? Are you still remaining hidden? The Red Constellation has indeed been searching for us, but we have withdrawn for the time being. The Defense Force unit that was patrolling the highway nearby has also pulled back. I imagine that gave the resistance teams in mines ample opportunity to escape harm. It's been stressful not knowing how Second Lieutenant Mirai and the others were doing. But it looks like now we can finally breathe a sigh of relief, huh, Rennie? Yes, if. Defense was aside, my uncle and his guys don't give a damn what old man MacDowell declares about anything. I bet a pretty near the only reason they bailed was to prep for the next move. I'm afraid I must agree with those odds. It's only a matter of time before they attempt something that puts their little hunting expedition in mines to shame. And it seems we still have no room to let our guard down whatsoever. Yes, quite. And so, I'm counting on all of you to remove that barrier on the double. Until you do, we won't be able to mount any sort of counteroffensive. Rest assured that when the time comes, we'll cooperate in the liberation of Crossbell City. We'll hold you to that. Breaking through Ouroboros' defenses and bringing down the barrier won't be easy, but you can leave it to us. We're going to clear open a path for you and your man as well as the resistance. Yes, we won't rest until we have done so. As reliable as ever. Now if you excuse me, this brings our little gathering to an end. Now if you could guide them safely back to the way they can, please. Yes. Lloyd & Company received a Zeram powder from Zhao as a parting gift. Unfortunately, Master Zhao is presently occupied with preparing countermeasures against the Red Constellation and will not be accepting visitors. We ask that you get in touch with us again once the barrier is taken care of. Yeah, we do that. You all take care of yourselves. Farewell for now. Okay, what's the Imperial Fishing Club doing? So your independence was declared invalid, was it? Ha, yet another irksome development. No matter what dangers await us, I'm prepared to overcome them with Lord Lakelord. Besides, I prefer the two of us being alone anyway. Alright. Now, I doubt we can go to Tangram Gate, but I want to try. Level 100. I doubt this. Ow, ow. Obstruct the casting of arts. Summon Sight. Cancel.
行くぞ。任せてくれ。私の番ね。俺の番だな。行くぜ。任せてくれ。
Okay, what do we get? Uranus spell. Does everyone consent to this looting? Yes, it is in chest. I do. Ideos, I don't. Alright, and I think that leaves mines. Is it true that Crossbell's independence is invalid now? Some defense force people were here to search for the resistance, but they bolted out in a hurry. Serves them right, justice always prevails. That resistance leader is a real fighter, huh? She was the first to challenge her new regime. None of a man can claim that. The rest of us ladies could learn a lot from her, I bet. You're right, I feel the same way. Miss Murray is here on a supply run for the resistance. She tells me you kids have a big operation coming up soon. Everyone here is rooting for you too. Best of luck. Randy, Special Support Section. Just the people I wanted to say. With the Declaration of Independence invalidated, the Defense Force can no longer act with impunity. Now, if we could just do something about the barrier surrounding the city. Disabling it would be our only real chance of liberating the citizen. You have a job, Second Lieutenant. It'll get done one way or another. But just a heads up, the Constellation's probably already geared up for what to happen. If we aren't careful, they could start hunting the resistance before we even get this operation off the ground. In other words, the sooner we act, the better. Agreed. I'll ensure my men are fully prepared to launch the operation on our end. With the Wolf's help, we'll be able to put up a better fight against Red Constellation. In the meantime, we're counting on the SS to shut the barrier down. Don't worry, we'll pop that bubble. Just be careful on your end, Murray. Same to you, Randy. There hasn't been any military action here since the Jägers went hunting for the resistance. I'm worried about how they react to the Declaration of Invalidity, though. I hope the resistance is being careful right now. My wife from resistance is visiting the inn. She said they would be commencing more operations soon. I do hope they're taking the opportunity to rest. They certainly deserve it. With the president's reputation in flux, the defense forces chose to stand down and see how things play out. From what I gather, Murray and the resistance are making preparations to liberate Crossbell City. I can only pray to Adios that their mission is a success. The resistance guys have a bunch of wolves stepping them out. They must be really smart. I'm glad they're on our side. The Declaration of Invalidity essentially nullified President Cross's credibility. This could very well be a turning point in Crossbell in history. When's the mine gonna reopen? The mine's closed, so I'm helping around town with whatever physical labor I can offer. Doesn't make a difference when nothing's as satisfying as mining. The resistance forces are gearing up for something. What exactly, I can't say. I'm not sure I could bear to see the guardsmen get injured like they were during the occupation. I hope they make it through this alright. It's been a while since we had Sunday school. I hope our teacher is okay. I don't have much schooling, so this declaration of invalidity business is a bit over my head. All I want is for this world to become a place where Kimmy and the rest of the kiddos can live in peace. But I didn't have to rely on folks like the Resistance to make it happen. But what can an old has-been miner like me do about it? Having to rely on Resistance for such an important job makes me wonder what I'm even good for. But as long as they can make this a world where Kimmy and the other kiddos can live in peace, that's what really matters. Something big is happening over in the city right now. We miners can't afford to go on like this. I'm going to need to have a talk with Mayor Bixson. Alec walked right up to one of those wolves and petted without a second thought. What am I going to do with a child? I know they're smart animals, not to mention they're cooperating with Resistance, but I do wish he'd be a little more careful. Luca kicked us out of the inn. She said it was so the leader of the Resistance could get some rest. Oh well, we'll live. You know, this is the longest I've ever gone without mining. Never thought I'd miss it as much as I do. We want to help out as much as we can, but there isn't much we can do for Miss Mireille and the Resistance. In the end, all we miners are good for is digging up holes. Alright, but I think I've been everywhere. Next we go in the direction of the Moon Temple. Until next time I say, and I'm Mace, and don't get lost.